Well, good morning, everybody. It's your Celebrate Recovery Ministry leader, Aaron here, aka MLA Ron. And it is another beautiful morning. It's Thursday, September 6th, 2017. The family's off for school. I got up and I had my workout, took a little shower because I didn't want to stink at work. I had my breakfast. My breakfast is always a bowl of healthy puffed wheat cereal, a piece of peanut butter toast and a banana, and 2 cups of coffee. Gots to have the coffee. And now it's time for me to sit down and have a little chat with you. And today is going to be part 2 of a message I started in the last video. My mess is his message, volume 7. So this is volume 8. And we're going to piggyback off of where we were last time. So the last time I explained exactly what recovery was. I defined it. For me, recovery is gaining back something of great value that was lost. Maybe a relationship, maybe sobriety, maybe health. It could be any number of things. And then I mentioned that sobriety covers many different areas. You could have sobriety from addiction, of course, but we can't let ourselves be painted into a box to where we only believe that sobriety and recovery is for addicts, because it's so much wider than that. 2/3, again, a little reminder, 2/3 of the people who claim to be actively involved in recovery are not folks who deal with addiction. So I covered some of the bases of other things that a person could be in recovery for: anxiety, depression, anger, codependency, pornography, addiction, of course, and many, many, many more. Today, I want to talk about the program, the recovery program that works for me. So at the onset of each of my little videos, I always describe myself as your Celebrate Recovery Ministry leader. And that's because that's what I am. I am the ministry leader in a local branch, if you will, a local chapter even, of a Celebrate Recovery program. And Celebrate Recovery is the most amazing tool. Celebrate Recovery has done tremendous things in helping me to find completeness again, and helping me to heal from my past hurts, habits, and hang-ups. So I want to tell you a little bit about Celebrate Recovery today. Celebrate Recovery is a national program that started over 25 years ago at Saddleback Church in Lake Forest, California. For those of you who would recognize the name Rick Warren, that's the guy who wrote A Purpose-Driven Life and A Purpose-Driven Church, and Saddleback is his church, and that's where CR got started. And it was started by a man named John Baker, who was himself a recovering alcoholic. And although he was able to make a great deal of headway in Alcoholics Anonymous, he realized that AA did not address his needs as a Christian. In AA, for those of you who are not familiar with it, you claim belief in a higher power. And that higher power can be anything. As a matter of fact, you're encouraged even not to name the higher power so as not to offend someone else. But in Celebrate Recovery, we claim Jesus Christ, not as a higher power, but as the higher power. Celebrate Recovery is built upon the same classic 12 recovery steps that so many other programs like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous or Overeaters Anonymous build upon. The difference is we take those steps and we expound upon them and teach upon them in a way that incorporates godly teaching and a great deal of scripture. We take each of those steps and we apply it not just to our lives of recovery, but to our spiritual lives as well, because we believe that the two are connected in a way that can't be broken. So Celebrate Recovery, again, has been around for 25 years. We are found in literally thousands and thousands of churches. 29 1,000 churches worldwide. We also have a very active incarceration ministry. It's called CR on the Inside. It can be found in jails and in prisons across the United States and Canada. We have brand new programs in the last year or two for certain ethnic groups that might not feel comfortable in other settings, or who have needs that are very much individual to a particular ethnic background. We have CR now for First Nations. We have CR for folks who specifically struggle with mental illness. CR just covers so much. And so here's basically what happens at a Celebrate Recovery meeting. We typically start off at the time of worship, and I love that time. I'm a musician, and so I love to sing anyway. And there are a few things to me that are as rewarding as singing to the Lord and praising Him through song. And then after we have a time of worship, we typically go through the classic 12 steps, or Celebrate Recovery has 8 recovery principles that we teach upon as well. After we go over those, then we typically have a teaching time or a testimony time. We alternate back and forth between the two from week to week. And during a teaching time, we take one of the 25 Celebrate Recovery lessons from our curriculum that go along with those classic 12 steps and 8 principles, and we give you valuable tools and information from the lesson to help you recover, to help you become the person God intends you to be. And then alternating with that teaching time, as I said, we have testimony weeks. And during testimony weeks, we literally have a testimony of someone whose life has changed for the better through Celebrate Recovery. I myself have had the opportunity to give my testimony in many churches across the greater St. Louis area. Many of our testimonies are videotape testimonies, but still, they are nonetheless impactful and powerful. And so after we have what we call this big group time of either teaching or testimony, after that, then we break up into small share groups. And here's where the real healing, I believe, of Celebrate Recovery comes into play. In a small share group time, we break into small individual groups, gender specific. Guys and girls, we can't talk about things together because that can lead to all sorts of problems. So gender specific groups. And in a large Celebrate Recovery ministry, each group would be specific to an individual hurt, habit, or hang-up. So in a large Celebrate Recovery program, you would have possibly a men's chemical addiction, maybe a men's food addiction, men's anger. You would have perhaps a women's chemical addiction, a women's codependency. Whatever groups are needed, you would have a group if you had the personnel to run it for that particular issue. Now, in my Celebrate Recovery program that I have the honor of leading, we're a relatively small program, so we basically have a guys group and a girls group. And although I would love for God to grow us, hint, 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 you can pray for that. If you're in St. Louis, you can come. Although I would love for God to grow us, I am perfectly content with just having our guys group and our girls group if that's what God has intended for us. And in these groups, we often discuss the testimony that we've seen or the lesson that we have experienced, and then we have the opportunity, and here's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. We have the opportunity just to open up and share what is going on in our lives. And see, we need like-minded people to listen to us. We are not designed, this is so important, my friends, we are not designed to travel the road of life by ourselves, let alone the road of recovery. There's a fly in here, and I'm about to go recovery on it. We're not designed to do this on our own. We have to have like-minded, godly individuals around us. Scripture talks about a twofold cord. Where one person might fail, two people can withstand. And that's kind of what it is in our small groups. You can share as much or as little as you want, and you can do so knowing that it's a safe environment, that no one is going to judge you, because we've all been there ourselves. In the 7 years or so that I've had the opportunity to lead Celebrate Recovery at my church, I really do think I have probably heard it all. There's nothing that surprises me, and I don't judge anyone because I've done an awful lot of it myself. So it's a safe place, and we just need people to listen to us. So that's kind of what Celebrate Recovery is. It's painless, but it affords great healing. Just knowing that there are people in your corner, that there are people who have your back, that in and of itself is such an amazing, powerful healing feeling. So I want to finish off today by just going through a list of what CR is not, and then what CR is. This is not an original list. I've seen this in several different places, on several different recovery websites that are specific toward Celebrate Recovery. So pardon me as I get my little cheat sheet here. I'm going to go over the CR, what CR is not first, because I want to save the good stuff to last. So CR is not a place for selfish control. CR is not a place to receive professional therapy. I'm not a therapist. Neither is anybody else in my group. CR is not a place for secrets and lies. CR is not a place for dating, or codependent relationships. Now, if you come into CR in a relationship like my wife and I both attend, a couple other folks in our ministry are married, that is great. But you're not there, find yourself a boyfriend or a girlfriend. CR is not a place where we can rescue or be rescued by others. That's God's job. CR is not a place for perfection. Only one person was perfect. CR is not a place to judge or be judged. And CR is not a place for a quick fix. Brothers and sisters, it probably took you years to end up where you are today. It's going to take some time to get out of it. Now here's the flip side of the coin. Here's what CR is. And man, I love these. CR is a safe place to share and be heard. CR is a refuge from hurtful people and situations. Oh man, that is so important. Man, it's a place where you can just find safety. CR is a place of belonging. CR is a place to care for others and be cared for. Now that's different from fixing others. CR is a place where respect is given to each member. CR is a place where confidentiality and anonymity is highly regarded and protected. And I'm happy I even got to be able to say anonymity correctly. But seriously, we take that very, very seriously. We do not share anything that is discussed outside or inside the group with outsiders. CR is a place to learn coping and healing skills. CR is a place to demonstrate genuine love. Man, I'm telling you, the people that I attend CR with love me. I don't deserve it. I didn't earn it, but they love me, and I love them in turn. CR is a place to grow and become strong again. CR is a place for progress. Sometimes you feel stuck, but CR is a place for progress. CR is a place where you can take off your mask and allow others to know who you are. Man, that is so important to me because I am the master actor. I wear masks better than anybody I know, but I've learned not to through my time in CR. CR is a place for healthy challenges and healthy risks. And CR is a possible turning point in your life. I couldn't have said it any better if I came up with the words myself. If you are a person who is struggling with any hurt, habit, or hang up, with any of the things we might have touched upon in my last video, man, I encourage you to find a local Celebrate Recovery chapter. Go to their website, celebraterecovery.com. And up in the upper right-hand corner, unless they've changed the layout, there is a group finder where you can put in your state or your zip code or whatever and find a Celebrate Recovery chapter close to you. Even if you are not actively involved in church, even if you're not a Christian, CR is still a place where you can find healing. And while you're there, grow closer to God or even establish that initial relationship with Him. If you are in the St. Louis area, I'm going to put a little plug in to my Celebrate Recovery ministry. I say mine, it's not mine, it's God's. It is totally God's. I have the opportunity and honor to lead the Celebrate Recovery program at Hazelwood Baptist Church. We are found at 6161 Howdershell Road, Hazelwood, Missouri, 63042. We meet every Friday night at 7 p.m. And we have plenty of room. I'm telling you, no one loves like CR people love. You will come and you will be welcomed and you will be loved upon. You will be made to feel important. That's because you are. And we would love to have you join us. Anytime you have a question or a concern about CR, you can email me. My email address is musical, spelled MUZIKAL, at charter.net. I'd be happy to talk to you about Celebrate Recovery, but I'd be even happier to see you at Celebrate Recovery. So that's the end of this two-part message. I've talked for 16 minutes. Geez, it didn't seem that long. But that's okay, because I talked about important stuff. Next time, I will probably talk a little bit about our first Celebrate Recovery lesson. Because this Friday at our church, we start our calendar year over with our first lesson. And so I'm really excited. I hope we have new people. And I hope to be able to spend the next year helping people be helped. Thanks for listening. This is my mess, but his message. And we'll talk another time. Love you guys. Bye.